Sonny Washington led all scorers that night in Michigan with 33. He hasn't looked back, leading the Broncos in scoring in 11 of their 14 contests and into second place in the West Division. Sonny Washington leads Western this afternoon against arch rival Central. It's the Broncos and the Chippewas live next on Channel 3. University Arena on the campus of Western Michigan. A couple of old rivals in the state of Michigan meet today, Western Michigan and Central Michigan. And hi, everybody, I'm John Koch. Now, this is a series that's been dominated by the Broncos. We'll have more on that in a moment. Joining us today is Chris Reynolds, a former Indiana Hoosier basketball player who's the director of compliance at Western Michigan. And Chris, first thing I want to talk about, a new coach at Central Michigan, Jay Smith.
Yes, Jay Smith.
He's a young coach with a very young team. More on that in a moment. Let's take a look now at the MAC standings. As you can see, this is an important game for the Broncos. 6-0 is Ball State. Toledo's 5-1. Those two teams meet today. Western is in third place at 4-2, and Central Michigan, as you can see, is currently in sixth place. One of the big stories right now is Sonny Washington, who leads the MAC in scoring. This Bronco has overcome 2 serious knee injuries to be a star on the team. We asked Bob Donowald about Sonny prior to today's game.
I think he's quicker now than prior to the injury. Really good look at this young man.
Sonny Washington is certainly getting a look from the NBA scouts as he's the leading scorer right now in the Mid-American Conference, averaging 23.6 points a game. In fact, Sonny Washington was the MVP of the Hoosier Classic in Indiana. You take a look at the numbers. First in the MAC, third in three-point shooting, and fourth in steals. He's a terrific all-around player. You talk about steals and you talk about great backcourt play of the Broncos, and you have to include Rashad Johnson. Rashad Johnson is averaging 16.4 points a game, but here's some critical numbers. 36 assists, 31 steals. He is one of 3 players, Chris, on the Bronco team with 30 or more steals. Rashad Johnson is a key player. And Chris, one thing that's concerned Central Michigan, certainly the young guard play. A kid from Hopkins, Tim Kisner, is one of the inexperienced players for Central Michigan.
Yes, this is a coming home party of sorts for Tim Kisner.
Well, it'll be a key aspect of the game, how well the young guards of Central do against the experienced backcourt of Western. We'll see. We'll be back with the starting lineups and the opening tip. The Broncos and the Chippewas right here on West Michigan's Channel 3. 15:08 to go in the first half. Western leading by 2, 12-10. Stolen by Jackson, slammed up.
Great anticipation on Jackson's part.
Full court pressure by the Broncos as Kylo Jones, the freshman from Pontiac, is in the game.
And although Kylo Jones is a freshman, keep in mind he's playing with the group of seniors at guards for Western Michigan, so it really helps him to play with this senior group.
They work it inside to Shell, who has 8. He dishes it outside to Borovich, who misses. And Sonny Washington's got the board. What a great all-around player. Here comes Rashad. It's 4-on-3, Western. Kylo holds up. A collision and a blocking foul is called on John Borovich, freshman from Bloomfield Hills.
Central Michigan University foul number
14-10, the Broncos leading by 4, with 14-21 to go in the first half. Here's Sonny Washington. 25 on the shot clock. Toothman from 18. It's short. Tipped away. Rashad comes up with it. Pull-up jumper. That doesn't fall. And yanking down the board is Lee Hampton.
Is it just me, or is Rashad Johnson all over the court so far in this game?
Well, that's the way he plays. He's a hustler. He's got a lot of skills. Look at the alley-oop and bucket. Oh, it's beautiful. A great pass by Borovich, and Lee Hampton scores.
Great vision on the part of the guard.
14-12, Central trailing by just 2. Hey, you know, this is the arch rival for Central Michigan. They're fired up, but Rashad drains it 3, and the Broncos have opened up a 5-point lead. Another good pass and another score. That was Kisner with the pass, and Borovich with the bucket.
Western Michigan is going to have to play for 40 minutes because this Central Michigan team is not going to die.
Kylo Jones, the freshman from Pontiac, answers. It's 19-14. This Western team will push the ball up the court much more than previous Bob Donewald teams. I asked the coach before the game if he's concerned about that, and he said, no, not really. With the athletes that I've got this year, I'm doing that on purpose. His one big concern, he's a little concerned that the opposition has a high field goal percentage, higher than he would like. There's Jackson with the rebound as Shell misses. 12:45 to go in the first half. Rashad has the pass stolen, and that's the knock on Rashad. He's an exciting player, but sometimes he takes chances and makes mistakes.
Yes, he does. It sometimes hurts you, sometimes helps you.
Good pass inside. Van Timmeren in the game, and he has it knocked away. Look at the play by Toothman to get it back. Here's Kimbrough, pull-up jumper. Got it! Stolen away by Kylo Jones. 21-14. Kylo for three.
Win this game.
Working into Shell. Give and go to the big guy, Brown. I thought he traveled, but the officials did not. There's three of them out there.
Great look by Shell. That tells you a little bit about his versatility as a player.
Hey, 5 consecutive points for Central Michigan. It's now 24-19. The Broncos leading by 5. Van Timmeren against Shell. Throws a terrible pass. It's taken by Central. That's Ed Carter. Coast to coast, he draws the foul. He'll go to the free throw line.
They need some baskets.
Oh, what a block. Sean Jackson sends that one into the seats. 4:58 to go in the first half. And then Donewald's had some very good teams, but boy, has he had some tough luck when it comes to injuries over the years. You go way back to Leon McGee, and the Broncos always seem to have a key player hurt. This year, he's been pretty much injury-free, with the exception of Ryan Schultz, who's a big 6'10" junior who is being redshirted this year. Turns out he had a fractured vertebrae in his back, and he expects to make a full recovery and play next year for Western Michigan. Broncos on offense. They get it to the main man, Sadi, who can't get it to fall. Toothman, though, gets the offensive board. We got a new shot clock with 3:12 to go in the first half. Driving bucket by Kimbrough. It's now a 7-point lead, 32-25.
Great penetration on the part of Kimbrough on that last basket.
Look for the Broncos to pick up the intensity on defense here, following a timeout. I'm sure Bob had something to say about that. Kisner for three. Doesn't fall. Toothman comes away with it.
Although that shot didn't go in, that was great patience on the part of Central Michigan.
Taking advantage of the opportunity, nobody was there. Kimbrough made one move and everybody was looking the other way, and he snuck in for the bucket. Jay Smith does not like the call, as he is arguing vehemently with an official. You can argue on the court, but you don't want to talk to the media about it. Milton Barnes of Eastern Michigan this week suspended for 1 game for talking about poor officiating to the media. All right, 7 seconds to go in the half. Kylo hits the three for Western. Kylo Jones, Kisner, 58-footer. Does he delight the home fans? He doesn't, but he's close. And so is Central Michigan. Despite the three from Kylo Jones, the Chippewas have certainly made it a game. Jay Smith and the Chippewas trailed by 8 at halftime. The Broncos leading Central Michigan by a score of 37-29.